that we're online. Alright, check, check, audio check.
Check, check.
Yeah, we can hear everything. Awesome. Welcome everyone to Performance Racing League. It's yet another race Sunday. You're here with Ramsey and Moistfish, the winner of the Tier 1 race in Bahrain. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, congrats on the win. I know there was a little bit of luck involved, but you certainly had the pace. We didn't get to see much of it, unfortunately, due to some technical issues, but we're gonna try to do better here for Tier 2.
Sounds good, sounds good. Yeah, it was pretty tough because it's a sprint weekend, so we'll get to see that for Tier 2 as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some good racing. Lots of opportunity for it.
Absolutely. We're gonna go over the standings between quali and the race. I'm gonna try something new today. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see something instead of just having to listen to me. But I'm not making any promises because I'm a I'm a noob. Here we go. Official live streams. So everything felt good in your race though? Like you were happy with your setup in the end? I know the lap one pitting choice was maybe not the best, but I mean it
Yeah,
certainly made sense in a 35% race.
yeah, for sure. It was really strange. So again, it's a sprint weekend. So the sprint portion of the race, it's only 7 laps long. So I stuck on the softs and they seemed to do pretty well. Although the medium runners, I noticed around lap six, lap seven, it seems like that was the definitely the better tire at that point in time. So they were able to stick in with DRS and then just make moves at the end if they saved up ERS. But yeah, the main race it was really tough. We had an early safety car, so I elected to switch on over to the hard tire. I had a bunch of soft tires left over. My quali went really, really well, so I only used 2 sets. Would have had pole even on my first lap. But yeah, it was a pretty tough race. I boxed lap one for hard tires. I thought that they'd go a lot further than what they did, but it seemed like they had just barely better deg than the mediums. So yeah, I don't expect to see too many hard tire runners here. Maybe some people will make the same mistake, but I'm expecting a lot of soft to medium or medium to soft strategies for the 35% race. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, it was great to watch for as long as we could. Luckily, some drivers had their streams running as well, so it was possible to follow the race because this seemed like a really eventful one. So too bad. We're gonna try to do better now for tier two. They're probably going to deliver some great entertainment here as well. And we're
Oh,
on going to be on board with Dutch. I have a little rule of thumb to myself. First driver on track gets a full lap that we'll follow them with. So
I like that rule.
yeah, since they're taking the hit on the track evolution, they may as well get some screen time.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So Dutch just rounding up the last corner here. We're gonna go on board. ERS is on, DRS is on. Good job. I certainly failed at that in practice yesterday. Set some laps
Oh,
without any ERS.
it's always the worst feeling. You get all the way down to turn one and you're 4 tenths down and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I forgot. That's the worst feeling.
A little bit scruffy through turn one, but did save the car. And it looks like he is electing to push on.
Yeah, that turn one, two section, it's so difficult to get the power down and keep your foot in it because it's so easy to spin the car. But Dutch is doing a great job through this section, keeping wide open throttle. It's so, so important. You can lose a lot of time if you're not carrying speed through that section.
Yeah, really good on the apex here of turn 8. Let's see, turn 9, 10. Very good,
Most difficult
actually.
corner. Yeah, it's such a hard corner
I'm
to get
personally
right.
very scared to take that curve on the right there because I always feel like I'm going to bottom out.
I agree. I'm very afraid of it. But I was watching like a track guide from one of the esports guys, and he said that in the game there's actually a bit of a trick there. If you actually use the curb, which again I'm very frightened of doing because the grip is just so sketchy, you can actually open up DRS just a fraction of a second quicker, which will gain you a bit of time. But
Oh,
not sure how many people will be using that tactic here because it is so sketchy.
and Dutch goes over the line with a 130.1. Not a bad time at all.
Solid banker.
Yeah, really good. And so there's some. Let's see what Disgruntled can do. 31.0, and then Dutch's teammate Northern Canuck with 30.8. Those are our first 3 laps, and then we have a McLaren of Sparkplug going into second with a 30.6. I believe a Mercedes just started a lap here. Yeah, new place. Let's stick on board with him. A black Mercedes with the black sky, looking really good around here.
Oh, it's so gorgeous with all of the floodlights and things. It's just a great paint job. I know that they do it to save weight, but I really like it. Can you tell I'm a Merc fan?
Yeah, I'm not a Merc fan, but I really wanted a Merc seat.
Oh, why's that?
Just because of the car. It looks so good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a Ferrari fan. I'm more like I like Chuck a lot, and Carlos. Carlos is great too. So I like the drivers more than the team, but I rarely choose the car in the game. Hoop, the race winner from last week, going top for now with a 29.6. Unfortunately, we missed that lap.
Wow, it's
He's a
5/10 though.
Yeah, pretty big gap. He's a reserve driver for now. But yeah, showing his pace in this tier, beating Lucas 8 on the last lap, last race. Hasn't actually made a big dent in the standings because of that, because he's a reserve. But yeah, showed some great pace. And Nuke goes over with a 31.3. Apologies for missing that a little bit. And speaking of Lucas 8, they're just starting their lap now. Just on the stretch here towards turn 4. Oh, and completely misses the
Ooh,
apex.
deep, way deep.
If that was me, I would probably abort here. Oh yeah, and he
I
did it.
agree.
Like it does look like he elected to abort a lot. Looks a little pedestrian. Yeah. So Lucas 8's gonna
Mhm.
try for another run. Hopefully he took enough fuel on board. I don't know if you do this, but I actually do my first runs with a little bit more fuel and usually do 2 laps, unless you know the first lap is a total win.
Yeah, it depends. Definitely depends on the track. If so, on the in lap, if you can make it easily back to the pits on what fuel you have left, absolutely. I'll run minimum fuel, but if
Ooh.
you're not able to make it back, then I might run a little bit. I know Vegas is like that, especially, but it's looking like Luco's just going right back into the pits there. Then
Okay.
he's not gonna try again. Oh,
So,
he is, but he's got no ERS.
oh. Oh, did he forget to turn it off?
I think
Oh
so.
no,
I think so.
he never aborted his lap.
Oh, really?
Oh, he just set a 30.6 and is in fourth. So that's actually not bad. Not a bad banker considering he lost so much time in that one corner.
Absolutely. Much more time to come from him then.
Yeah. I believe there is a. Oh no, that's just an out lap. Spark plugs. No, just finished a lap. Oh, La Rodri just starting the lap. She's really quick, very consistent. Doesn't qualify super high, but has had really good results. I believe third in the standings, but we're gonna look at that after. Just made up a lot of places, and I wouldn't be surprised if she's the current Captain Sunday. Actually, need to verify that.
Definitely pushing hard through sector 2, that's for sure. Wide open throttle throughout. Getting the power down, steering seems smooth.
Amazing.
Very good from her. Impressive.
I'm trying to
Wow.
find the. Oh, here we go. So La Rodri is actually second as in Captain Sunday, and Will Butler is first with 5.5 positions gained and 4 for La Rodri. Yeah,
Yep.
very clean
There's going to
lap.
be a lot of. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just starting to follow this lap again. Looks very clean. Definitely could have taken a bit more speed through the penultimate corner there, but just keeping it clean. And this is going to
See
be
what she's got.
30.5. Beating the teammate. Very good.
Very well done. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting weekend because it is a sprint weekend, and we've had only a few rounds so far. I think this is round 4 or 5. Round
Five.
4? Round 5. Yeah, so there's not too many points on the board. There's lots of opportunity for shuffling around because there are so many points up for grabs this weekend. We've got sprint race 1, and then we've got the full race at the end. So lots and lots of points, lots of opportunity for shuffling around in the standings.
Yeah, it's still early in the season. Well, it's 14 races, correct? I believe
I'm the
so.
wrong guy to ask, but I believe so.
Okay, Disgruntle is just coming up on the Sector 3 line here. Let's see if he's currently improving. As Butler goes second with a 30.0, and Disgruntle is up almost half a second on his previous lap.
Yeah, nobody else has been able to crack the 29s though, so Hoop is definitely looking quite good.
Yeah, I'm expecting Lucozade to get into the 29s, but we'll see if he can deliver that. And then Camo Banana is usually very quick on quali day as well. And Disgruntle goes into 7th, improving by half a second to a 30.5.
Love that name, Disgruntled Muppet.
I know, isn't it awesome?
It's great.
And Noob is going for a second run here, just getting into turn 4. Taking the apex here really early, which throws him out a little bit wide. Oh,
Yeah, that corner's always so awkward. You can use a lot of the track out of that corner, but you don't want to go out too wide. Oh, lots of oversteer here from Noob.
Disgruntle's staying out of the way very nicely. Oh, and just I don't know if you've seen this too,
Oh,
but I see a lot of like hiccups in the connection here. But
yeah,
oh, yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening.
yeah, Noob was off track for sure. I think that there are some connection issues, but
And we have Camo Banana just improved to 30 with a 30.2 to P5, and I believe we have Lucozade now going for his second run, and Northern Canuck right behind him. Stay on board with Lucozade, our championship leader. See how much they can improve. A lot better through turn 4 here this time around.
yep, went quite deep last time, nailed it this time. Carrying lots of speed through sector 2. It's so important. Using all the
Presumably
track width.
a purple sector 1 and currently half a second up on his previous lap. Yeah, you can hear whenever somebody's not using ABS, you can hear it quite well.
Yep, lots of sliding.
Oh, very tame through. I'm sorry, I don't know this turn number, and sticks to gear 5, which is quite high. And he's 9/10ths up on his previous time, so unless something goes wrong, he's on for P2 at least.
Always more time to find, though. Sometimes we get greedy, sometimes it bites us, but sometimes it goes well. Let's see what he's got. He won.
Oh wow, by just. What is that?
12
100th?
thousandths.
Yeah. Wow.
Very
Very,
well
very
done,
close.
Luco
And
Zaid.
Northern Canuck, sorry that we didn't follow you here, but he just went into third with a 30.0, just ahead of Butler. So the Williams and
Looking
Red
look.
Bulls, very strong showing so far.
Yeah. So I got a question for you. How much do you think track evolution is going to play here? Because Hoop put in that lap way earlier than Luco Zaid. Do you think Hoop's got something in the bag, or what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think track evolution definitely a thing, as well as just you now have a delta, which always acts as a good carrot. So I believe Hoop will definitely be able to show us a better time. Um, Unfortunately, because of the yellow, I can't really see how much time is left right now. 3 minutes and 50. Yeah, so everyone who's in the pits right now should be able to put another lap in. It's going to be tight for Lucozade and Northern Canuck, but I'm pretty sure they can still make it.
Mm, now Northern probably not.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he's barely behind.
Uh,
Well, I think that he might be able to make it, but will he be able to do his tire prep properly? That's the
yeah,
question.
possibly not. Who's the next? I believe Sparkplug is the next one to start a hot lap, while everybody else is in the pits, so he chose to stay safe here. Craig is having some connection issues. Hopefully this doesn't mess up at laps for anybody else. He keeps leaving and joining. A little bit deep into turn 1 and a little tentative on the throttle through turn 2, but it's better than spinning out. Oh, and goes very wide.
Whoa!
Somehow that
That
was not an invalidation.
should have been, but sometimes maybe it was an invalidation, slowing down.
Or maybe he's just going for another lap.
Yeah, that's possible. So we've got Hoop on an out lap, one of our
Oh, thank you.
fighters for pole.
Yeah, actually about to start the lap, so we're gonna hop on board with him here. La Rodri also currently on a lap, I believe. I do not see a delta, unfortunately. So we're gonna go on with Hoop because we actually missed his first lap. As I said, currently a reserve driver showing a lot of pace. Wouldn't be surprised if they get promoted if seat becomes available. Very clean
Ooh,
through turn 2.
a little bit of oversteer. He caught it though.
Oh, okay.
Commitment.
Yeah, I like to go. Oh, lose a lot of time here in turn 4. And it's actually 2 tenths down on his previous time. And it looks like
Yeah,
Lucozade has elected not to go out. Still in the pits.
yeah. You know what? That could play. That could pay huge dividends later because it is a sprint weekend and the soft tire. It's the C3 compound, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a little bit harder than most weekends. So it's definitely usable in the race. So saving your soft sets now. Um, to use them in the race, it's definitely not a bad option for sure, especially if you know you've got P1, P2 more than likely, which I think Luco is quite confident in, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. It might just be a tire saving strategy, which is definitely not a wrong move. I'm on board with Camo Banana now. He's basically matching his previous Sector 1 time. And he's definitely a contender to make it up to the top 3. Going by... Oh, as Hoop improves to a 29.3. That's really strange because I thought he had backed off.
I thought he did too.
Well, sorry about that, Hoop. We switched away. You made it look so casual that we thought you were aborting your lap.
We in no way mean any offense. Very well done. Top of the field, my friend. Top of the field.
Camo Banana currently up 4.5 tenths on his previous time, which would put him into the 29ths, and he has a shot at second here. Just 1/10 down on Lucozade, but makes it into the top three. I had a
Good
feeling
effort.
this man would be able to do it. We still have people on their laps. Butler is still on a lap. I believe Tafur and Nico John on his only lap of the day, but is invalidated, so that's unfortunate for him. We haven't seen a lap from Butler. Let's go back on board with him, see if the Red Bull man can join his teammate on the front row.
Still pushing
Allegedly
hard.
purple sector 2. Not sure about that. Hits the inside curb here, which is not good.
Exit was decent though.
Yeah. And joins up with the guys in the 29th, 29.8 and 4th on the second row. Really good effort.
All right, so I think that's everybody. Well done, Hoop.
Absolutely. We have Hoop in first on pole position, getting the points and matching his performance from last weekend. Lucozade in second, Camo Banana in third in the Alpine, and Butler in fourth, completing the second row. The Williams team locking out the third row, Northern Canuck and Dutch in sixth. Sparkplug, the only McLaren today, basically your teammate, in seventh. New place, and they call me Dr. J in 8th and ninth for Mercedes. And we're gonna wait for the rest of the order here. Oh, and Cersei had a qualification ban, but I didn't see him. Oh no, he's in the lobby. So we continue with P10 La Rodri. Similarly to the last few races, qualifying quite a bit down on their teammate. Very interested to see what she can do in the race. Disgruntled in the Haas in 11th. Tefur finishes the qualifiers in 12th, and then Nico John unfortunately didn't settle up, and Cersei sucks serving the qualifying ban in 14th, and I believe, is that everyone? Ah, only 14 drivers today. And are you still with me, Fish?
I'm still with you. I'm still with you.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
what are we thinking in terms of strategy?
well, I agree with you that with the 20 lap race, medium soft is pretty good. I believe that's, or soft medium works as well, I believe. The
Hmm.
undercut's pretty good around here, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Now let me see if this works. So I'm just going to attempt to show you guys the standings right now. Yep, there they are. Beauty. So as you can see, we have Lucozade still leading the championship despite dropping down to 5th on the last lap in Abu Dhabi. And we have Northern Canuck and the Williams in second, 27 points behind. Certainly pretty tight, even all the way up to 8th. Everyone's still within 100 points. We have La Rodri in the sister Alfa Romeo in third. What else can we tell you here? Camo Banana in the Alpine in fourth, and Nico John finishing the top five in the Aston Martin with some solid results in this tier so far.
Yep, will
Everyone
definitely
after
be lots of
that,
changes after
yeah,
today, though, for sure. Lots of points up for grabs.
100%. Everyone after P5 has either some missed races or some DNFs. So yeah, stuff happens, of course. But just to go down the grid, we have sixth and seventh, Will Butler and Tar Heels, the two Red Bulls. Tar Heels missing, of course, today and being filled in by Hoop. Then Craig in eighth, Tac Delta, who's also missing today in the Aston Martin in ninth, and Dutch finishing the top 10 in the Williams. And then we go Sparkplug, Cersei Sucks in 11th and 12th, Flying Grayson and Palani both missing today in 13th and 14th, Disgruntled Muppet in New Place in 15th and 16th, Dookie Hoser, Jimmy, Tefur, and They Call Me Dr. J finishing the order. Yeah, lots of drivers missing today actually. I guess we're spoiled these days with the two divisions always having full grids. Um, I guess at some point last season we would have been happy with 14 drivers, right?
Yeah, yeah, agreed. The attendance has been stellar, especially in Tier 1. Lots and lots of people wanting and willing to reserve up. It's been great. Tier 2, only 14 drivers today, but still, it's a great turnout.
Yeah.
Lots of racing is possible with 14 drivers, so I'm happy.
Yeah, Craig, sorry to see that that you can't race today. Clearly some connection issues there. And then if everyone's stream quality just dropped, I believe that was because of the image I overlaid. So you can just either refresh the site or go to the little settings cogwheel and turn it back up.
So, any tips for the race start?
Well, no, not from me. I was eager to race in Tier 1, but unfortunately didn't get a reserve seat today. Maybe you have something you could share?
Yes. So basically, best way to get away, you got to stick your foot down on the loud pedal, and hope for the best. Make sure that nobody takes you out from behind.
Here we go. Three, four, five lights. And we're good
And they're
to
out.
go, but we have an
I thought
issue
they were.
of some sort. We have an instant red flag. Oh no. That is usually a glitched lobby in my experience.
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's not the start we want, so we will have to wait for the admin to see what the call is going to be here, whether we're going to restart this lobby or whether the red flag will sort it out. I kind of doubt it.
I do as well. When we had the red flag in Tier 1, there was a lovely red flag which gave us 2 laps of racing. It was pretty interesting. I wasn't I haven't had many red flags, but it was pretty interesting how it worked out. So had the red flag at about lap 16 or so, and then we came back into the race. The game told us that we were starting on lap 20, but we were actually starting on lap 19, which would make for 2 laps of racing. So that was the case. But the interesting thing that happened was I had quite an ERS advantage when the red flag came out. But what happened was when we restarted, everybody still had the same amount of ERS, which I thought was interesting because um, in a normal race in real life, you'd have the opportunity to do an in lap or perhaps a couple of laps under safety car before red flag. And then you can use your engine to recharge your battery, right? But I thought it was pretty interesting that the game didn't just automatically give you 100% ERS for the race start. But I'm sure that some drivers, such as myself, who did some decent ERS saving for strategy, were pretty happy with that. But yeah, it's just one more thing that's good to know in terms of game knowledge.
Yeah, good stuff. Unfortunately, this lobby is dead, so we're going to be restarting. I don't even know of a way to quit this right now. I may have to just kill the game.
Yeah, I know we were discussing a potential penalty for these sorts of incidents. Um, I know that. Oh, we've got. Yeah, the lobby's just glitched on my end. Are you
Yeah,
still in?
no, you can restart because they're
Okay.
reforming. I haven't grabbed a screenshot unfortunately. I don't have the order in my head. I know that Hoop was on pole position.
Yeah, I lost it as well. I'm sure one of these guys were had a recording running, so we can definitely get it. But yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate things. But I know that we were discussing a potential penalty for these kinds of situations in the tier one chat at least. So the penalty would go as follows: Codemaster developers, 6 months penalty to Guantanamo Bay. Thoughts?
Does the punishment fit the crime there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it does. Time is precious, my friend. Time is precious. You waste my time, you got to go to the bay.
Yikes. Yeah, I mean everyone's frustrated with all these bugs and glitches. I'm actually impressed with the community. It's still sticking around and still throwing money at this. But I also understand. I mean, it's even in a closed league, well, semi-closed like this one, it would be so difficult to convince everyone to, let's say, stick to a game for another year or yeah, switch to another racing series. I mean, it's basically impossible, right? People love this series, so um,
Oh, how do you mean? Like if we were to go to iRacing or something like that?
well, that would be too hardcore, I think, and also we have many people on console. But for example, we could all agree on sticking to F123 for another year,
Ah, I see.
right? In
Yeah,
order
yeah,
not
I
to
got you.
reward these kind of releases. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm cautiously optimistic. I saw that they just released the new WRC game on a completely different engine. It's running on Unreal Engine, and people are well a part of some of the stuff with the racing and the multiplayer. They're very happy with how it was implemented. So there's definitely things are changing with Codemasters. So really, from our position, we can only hope.
Yeah, yeah, I'm totally right there with you. It really is a great series. I feel like the actual mechanics and the driving experience, they're all very satisfying. Especially this year, they've made a lot of changes to the inputs, especially on throttle and for steering response. Makes the game way more satisfying than F122, but it's just a lot of these bugs and nonsense things that just cause a lot of hassle and frustration for the drivers. I know there are lots of instances where penalties are need to be removed, or some unfair penalty handouts and unfair situations in which are just caused by the game, and that's just the state of F123 right now, and it's unfortunate, it's frustrating, but like you said, we can only hope for better in the future. And to be fair as well, WRC it's been going well, and a lot of the changes that they've made for this year have been quite solid. It's just mainly the bugs.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hope things change. In the meantime, I'm going to try to grab these Captain Saturday and Captain Sunday images. Maybe we can take a look at that.
So I'm interested to know, and I'm not sure if you know or not, but so Captain Saturday. So I know that they've got, in terms of this year's game, the sprint races. We should for 2023 have a sprint race shootout in terms of qualifying. But are we counting the starting grid for the 35% race as the pole position, or are we counting the actual qualifying as pole position, or both?
Uh, I'm not quite sure. This happened last season too around Coda, where it was actually the two of us who did really well. Um, I can't remember whether we got points for either of them or both. Hearts.
Mm.
And then you have two fastest laps too, right? Uh,
Yeah, I got two fastest laps. I think I got them in. No, I think you might have gotten a fastest lap in Coda, but I got both of them today in Bahrain.
yeah,
Not sure
what
what
I'm not sure
points you get for
about,
that.
but maybe you can check on Discord. I know the that Share has pinned the
Yep.
new points rules, and I'll send
Yep.
you an invite here as well in the meantime.
Absolutely. I will get on that and I'll keep you guys updated on the points situation.
In the meantime, we can have a look at Captain Saturday here. So I'm just gonna show it on screen. So this is after round four. So we have Lucozade quite far ahead in top spot on Saturday with a 1.67 average qualifying position, which is extremely strong. So he's being challenged right now by Hoop there for sure. Craig, who didn't make it in the lobby earlier, maybe he can actually make it now that it's restarting and just start in the pack. That would be
I'll
nice for
send him a
him.
message.
Yeah. We have Tar Heels with an average qualifying position of fifth, which is super impressive because he only ever sets one lap right at the end. Sharing third and fourth here, basically between Palani and Jimmy also in fifth with an average qualifying position of fifth. And you guys can see the rest of the list there. Captain Sunday, as I said earlier, is Will Butler in first, gaining the most positions, followed by La Rodri and Tac Delta in second and third. Northern Canuck, Sparkplug, Flying Grayson, and Disgruntled also doing really, really well there.
So I see Craig's joined the lobby, which is good to hear for him.
Yeah, so I guess they'll just place him in last.
I would hope. I would hope. It's unfortunate, but at least he gets to race today.
Yeah, and since it's a sprint weekend, can make up some positions.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to excuse myself here for just 1 minute. Gonna grab some water. I'll be back
Yep.
shortly.
Not a problem at all.
Yell
I
at me
will
in
go
case
through the
it's in
points.
case I'm. Yeah, we currently have Captain Saturday and Sunday on the screen here. Do you want me to put the standings back on?
Yeah, yeah, sure, that'd be great. I'm just gonna go through like what the actual points are awarded for,
Oh,
like
right.
first, second, sprint race points and fastest lap, etc.
Yeah, I might actually be able to do that as well. If you give me 1 second, I could put that on
Sure.
the screen. It's pretty great to stream from a PC. You have a little bit more options.
Yeah, I've got to make that switch eventually. I got to be honest with you. So I'm normally a controller player myself, but I was looking at rigs earlier this week. So maybe I'll get some advice from you a little bit later offline here. 'Cause it's definitely in the back of my head. So
Very
in terms of
nice.
points, yeah.
Oh
So in terms
no,
of points,
I just
we've got
realized that I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my F1
yeah,
game
yeah.
has I don't think I'm on it anymore.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, never mind. I am silly. Go ahead. I'm gonna be away for a
Okay.
minute.
Yeah, yeah, no sweat. All right. So, in terms of this weekend, so because it is a sprint weekend, we've got lots and lots of points up for grabs here. So, you can see on your screen here. So, first place for the feature race. So, that's going to be the 35% race. It's going to be 50 points for first place. If you win the sprint race, you've got 16 points up for grabs. And as well, which I don't believe is on your screen at the moment, if you get fastest lap, you're going to have two additional championship points. So there should be two of those up for grabs today. So there's 70 points just for race results. And then there's also a bonus point for pole position as well. So in total today, because it is a sprint weekend, we're going to have a total of 73 points that are up for grabs for in terms of a championship swing. Um, so if your championship leaders are have an unfortunate weekend, couple of DNFs, we can definitely see a huge swing there. Um, So yeah, lots and lots of opportunity for these guys. I know that we were chatting earlier about a few of these guys that aren't so great at quali, but we've got a couple of Captain Sundays in the room. So it's good news for those guys, which hopefully as well will provide some good racing too. Just let know that I am in a car, so I'm just gonna hop out of a car so I can spectate with you guys and not pull a Baku from last year. I mean, what Baku from last year? Don't give me trouble now. Um, but yeah, so lots and lots of points are up for grabs today, and lots of opportunities to lose out as well, right? Because it's racing at the end of the day, and if you get taken out, it's just one of those things. But over the course of a season, I feel like most of that kind of stuff evens out. Um, but yeah, huge,
Absolutely.
huge opportunities in terms of setup and things too for those who aren't great at qualifying. If you go lower wing around here, you can get away with it, but qualifying you might suffer. But yeah, lots and lots of opportunity for you guys to get some points today.
Yeah, it just takes one turn, right?
Yep, one turn, one knock in the booty. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I believe we've all been there. I actually just realized the other day that this is now my fourth season in this league. So great consistency, great place to be, and it's certainly given me a lot of entertainment for the last, well, almost couple years now.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've been kicking around a little bit longer than I have. I think I joined in 21, I'd say, for F1 21, but well, maybe even 20, the year 22, but for F1 21. But yeah, it's definitely a great community to be around. Lots and lots of clean racers. The stewards are great. The admins are fantastic. Shout out to Shara Shaft. Um,
Absolutely.
Especially he's taken on a lot of work over the past couple months. So thanks so much for to all of the admins and the stewards for making this type of thing possible. It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. I can only agree to that. I have been here since F122. Basically, I believe since a couple months after release of F122. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the pleasure to play F1 2020 or F1 2021. But I was basically on a wheel right away. At least once I joined this league, I was already on a wheel.
I thought you made the switch over recently, or did you just get a new rig?
I just got a new rig. I had a Thrustmaster T150, which is a
Okay.
like a beginner wheel. It's very comparable to like the G920s, etc. From Logitech. It's a belt-driven wheel. Yeah, it
So
was it was very good to get me into the groove. I really really liked it, but I always wanted to get better brakes, and also I was always intrigued by a direct drive wheel, and I have to say that the switch has been really pleasant. It hasn't made me faster or anything. This is definitely a myth and just a sales tactic, so be aware of that.
so any recommendations for somebody who's actually, just getting in the market for a wheel, has an interest in something like that? Where did you start your shop?
um, just a second, please. Sorry, I just had to take care of my pet here before the race starts. Um,
Cat or dog?
CAD. Um,
Good
yeah,
choice. Good choice.
I'm not quite sure where I started the shop, but I basically at first I wanted something that was really really uh, yeah, that would. I wanted to make sure that the new setup was quite a bit better in every way. Otherwise, I didn't see it worth being the money because it can be quite pricey. And in the beginning, I also wanted a setup that would work on PC as well as a PlayStation. But I had to abandon that because, yeah, it just adds so much clunkiness. Committing to one platform is really the way to go. So, and
Hmm.
there's really only two companies out there that are competing for the top spot in terms of the equipment. I don't want to really advertise anything here, so I'm not going to name them, but
We know them.
you've
We
definitely
know.
heard from them before. And there's a big one that was making a lot of the entry level wheels that is also pushing into that higher end market now. But I believe their offering is good, but it's quite a bit overpriced when compared to the quality of the other guys. So um,
Mm.
yeah, we can definitely talk about it after what my experience was like. I definitely think it was worth it. I got mine on the used market, although it was brand new, so I got a little lucky. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so good brakes are really important, and the feel of the wheel is just it's just something nice to have. What's also some changed my driving quite a bit, which I didn't expect at all, is going from like a regular rim, a round rim, to a formula style rim. Uh,
Okay.
I thought it was just going to be a static thing, but it's not at all. But the race is starting. We have 5 lights. Welcome to the sprint race in Tier 2 in Bahrain, and oh no.
All right.
Well, we have the cars going, but it's another red flag, and I have no idea what is happening here today. That is just atrocious.
All right. Another 6 months to Guantanamo Bay.
Oh my goodness. Now,
I think the dev that's going to Guantanamo Bay needs a name. What's his name?
this is unbelievable. Well, we have a starting timer. So maybe this time, I mean, we will have. This is only the sprint race, so everyone will probably stay on their tire, and hopefully the grid didn't change too much. So hopefully we can just keep going here. But this is just a great display of quality again.
Somebody in the chat, name the developer that's going to Guantanamo Bay that we've sentenced. I'll get back to you.
Three, four,
Oh,
5 lights. Let's see if
maybe
we
it
can.
actually worked.
Third time's the charm. No. Oh my goodness. Oh, here they
Oh,
go. Well, we don't have a red flag.
oh, we did, we did, but
Yeah,
um,
Lucozade on the inside of turn 1 can't quite make it stick, and maybe overtaken by Northern Canuck here. Quite
clean getaway
squirrely.
though. I don't see anybody spun.
Yeah, very clean. There's some position changes in the back for sure. And Williams struggling to make turn 4. Dutch dropping all the way from 4th to 7th, I believe. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit. Oh, and we have a Mercedes in the wall. But it looked
You just
like.
want to open up the telemetry and everything, all of the
Yeah,
settings when you get a sec.
sorry about that.
All good.
These weird starts have really thrown me. So we have Hoop with a decent advantage here already of 1.3 seconds ahead of Lucozade and Northern Canuck, who are battling it out for second on the first lap here. We have an absolutely astronomical gap between 10th and 11th already, 4 seconds. So there were definitely some incidents there. Um, we have Sparkplug passing Butler for 4th right now through the penultimate corner. Nice move, but comes at a great cost, I believe. We'll see if that was worth it in terms of the race. Hoop pushing along, and Butler is going to come right back at Sparkplug
Oh, disgruntled Muppet in the wall.
on the straight. What happened?
Ah,
Severe
there was lots
collision
of
with Craig.
jockeying for position.
Oh, that's too bad. We have I believe we have a full course. Yeah, full course yellow.
Safety car. So in these situations, when it's just a sprint race, there are 3 laps left. It's always so difficult to predict how long the safety car is going to be out. But it's kind of interesting at the same time because there's definitely not going to be any DRS. So that's going to help Hoop out in front for sure. And also, there's not going to be any tire wear. So anybody who started on medium tires is going to get kind of screwed here. Uh, Although everybody, it looks like they all started on soft tires, so that's not going to play a factor here. But
Yeah,
would have
it's
been
also
interesting.
very strange. We're on lap 4 and they have 0 lap old softs, whereas they call me Dr. J's are 1 lap old. So maybe he used them all in quali and didn't have a new set. So that will definitely cost him dearly in
Yeah,
terms of pace.
I wonder, and I'm not sure. Under red flag conditions, can you suck any of the fuel back out of the car, or are you kind
No,
of stuck with all of that weight lugging in it? No, you can't.
no, the fuel is locked. The only thing you can change is your front wing, I believe, and the diff and the tires.
Aha, I see.
Yeah, what a sprint race. So we have 2 red flags and 1 safety car. So this is basically going to be a... You know how you can select a very short race that is 3 laps that nobody ever does? That's what they're going to do.
Yep, that's exactly it.
And Butler is pitting. He must have had some damage.
Yeah, I can't see any reason why you'd want to box at this point because, again, overtaking here, it's very difficult, and there's no DRS either, which makes it even more challenging. So,
Disgruntled getting a new wing as well, and Camo Banana just straight up decided to retire.
Camo Banana's out.
Yeah. Am I muted? No.
Nope, nope,
Yeah,
I can
so
hear you.
very turbulent race. Do you know if they are able to turn the red flags off completely between this session and the race?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Once it's set and good to go, you can't go back in and change the settings. But we'll see. We'll see if we even make it to the 35%. We might need to re-switch out the lobby again, but
Well,
time will tell.
a couple more issues and the entire Cody's team will be in Guantanamo Bay and we'll probably have to wait for 20 years for the next release.
Yep. 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 All right. So, do we think safety car is coming in this lap? I think it might.
It probably should. I would hope it would, because having just 1 lap would be, yeah, a bit of a shame. Yeah, it's coming in
Yeah, it's
this
in.
lap. We just got the notification here. I'm curious to see if Hoop will drop back now, or whether he will... my personal preference is always to drop back right away to give me some options, depending on the behavior of the cars behind me.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant if he's going to lose P1, but yeah, for sure. You always want to bide your time if you can and keep everybody behind you guessing.
Mhm. And let's see how quickly Hoop will go ahead here. Waiting a
There
little
he
bit,
goes.
but there he goes. Ooh, this is gonna be very tight into turn 1 here.
Yep.
Lucas definitely catching
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, when you're that close, the slipstream is so powerful. He's going to dive. He's going to take a dive.
Oh, and there's a little bit
Oh, a
of
little bit of
contact.
contact. You're not rubbing, you're not racing.
Yep. No, they
It
it
was,
kept it clean.
yep,
They
it was respectful, a little bit of contact. Sometimes it happens. I think that was okay.
Yeah. So Hoop's going to wait for the sector 2 straight or the start finish, I guess. At this point, it would be good to preserve your battery. We have a yellow, that's Disgruntled Muppet, unfortunately losing the car after turn 4. I don't see any major overtake attempts right now anywhere on the grid, but the sector 2 straight may give some people opportunity here. Dutch is only 2 tenths behind Sparkplug.
Yep.
Yeah, but everyone opting to wait for the long straight, so we may see some shenanigans there. Dutch choosing a very odd line through turn 11.
Yeah, some interesting defending there, I think.
Yeah, and that lost him quite a bit of time. So Sparkplug now 1.6 seconds down on the top three, while Disgruntled has more issues in turn 11. Let's go back up to Northern and Hoop here. And Lucozade.
Looks
Lucozade
like,
trying to break the toe, setting the fastest lap, of course.
yeah, looks like Luco got a really good exit out of that penultimate corner there.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually was able to extend the gap on that straight. But Hoop's getting a mega exit through turn 2, but it may not be enough. La Rodri, they call me Dr. J, all switching positions. There was definitely some contact there. La Rodri has a
Yeah,
damaged front wing, losing a bunch of positions now. As Cersei sucks, there's a whole gaggle of
whoa!
cars between 6th and ninth. Everyone going off track. Butler's off track. Dutch going around the outside of turn 8. Cersei, oh, some very hard battling here. Yeah, oh boy. So Butler and Dutch passing each other all the way around. Hoop is right behind Lucozade, but this is
Hoop's
the
got
last
one
lap.
more opportunity. He's got one more opportunity coming up. He's got a little bit more battery, not to spoil anything, but he might have a shot here.
Let's stick to the top two drivers here, going for the last corner. If Lucozade doesn't make a mistake here, he should have it in the bag. Sparkplugs and Craig constantly passing each other, and Lucozade will take this one home. And Craig just getting Sparkplug on the last corner, securing 5th.
Get in there. Great move.
Yeah, and the rest of the grid basically sticking to... Oh! La Rodri and they call me Dr. J just separated by 61,000s or 600s. That was a photo finish basically. So yeah, we're not far away from our starting order. Lucozade making sure to make up on that 1 point he lost for the pole position. So we
Sorry,
go...
I must mention just before we're done here, that was a photo finish, all except for Disgruntled Muppet, who I think is slightly disgruntled. He just finished. Sorry, brother. Love ya.
Yeah. Well, a nickname's asking for it. Nico John is the game's driver of the day. We'll see how many positions he's made up. Remember the top 8 getting points here, basically double of what is on the screen. So you've got Lucozade gaining 16 points in first, Hoop dropping down to second, Northern Canucks sticking to third, Nico John making it all the way up to fourth. I'm fairly certain he started much further down. Um, Craig going up to fifth, which is extremely impressive because he should have started in last. I hope
Good effort.
he did start in last. Sparkplug sixth, Butler in seventh, and Dutch in eighth, rounding up the point scorers here today. Although possibly we also have ninth and 10th scoring, so Cersei and Dutch should get some points as well. You just went over the points, so maybe you know better than me.
You'd think. You'd think. Anyway, I gotta bounce. I gotta get going. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, everybody, and yeah, enjoy the future race.
Hey, no problem. Yeah, I guess we have a bit of a delay here.
All right, take it easy, guys. Thanks.
Have a good one. Okay, let me just end the call with Moist Fish here. Oh, he did it for us. Jesse, not sure what you mean, 5 minutes being the sweet spot. I think I missed that message earlier. So yeah, lots of issues in Tier 2 here, but good effort from everyone. Let's hope we have a better time with the feature race. Because that was a little bit of painful. We're starting to see a trend. Northern Canuck, Lucozade, and Hoop definitely currently have the pace on the field ahead by a few tenths per lap. Let's see what they can do in the feature race. Remember, today only a 35%. The drivers are all probably happy with that now after all these issues, and really crossing my thumbs that the red flags and the starts are going to be cleaner now. No fault to any driver, of course, just software issues that we've experienced before. I'm wondering if, obviously, since we had to restart the lobby, the tires will have reset, so people may have a few more options. You know, some fresh softs where they didn't have any. And here we go. We have 5 red lights. And the lights are out. And we have the cars reacting a little bit late again, but it is clean. No issues that I can spot. Everyone's getting away cleanly. Nobody's disconnecting. So far, Northern Canuck may have the... Oh, and there is a spinning AlphaTauri. Not sure if they got tagged, but they almost took out the top 3 here. Will Butler getting the jump on Northern and Hoop, who were struggling to get through turn 2 and 3 together. So Hoop dropping down to 4th from 2nd. Lucozade probably loving watching his mirrors right now as he's absolutely gaining time from this. Nico John making it up to 5th, pushing Noob wide a little bit. Hard to see what exactly happened there. Looking like Nico John gave the position back, so maybe he outbraked himself and trying to rectify the error right away, which is always nice to see. Disgruntled already having a better time than in the sprint, making up a bunch of positions. Let me check here who's the winner of the start so far. We're halfway through lap 1 and we have Butler up 4 positions, New Place up 5 positions. Great effort, and Disgruntled as well in 9th right now, making it up from 14th. I just heard a concerning noise. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm going to double check that real quick while we stay on board with the top 4 here. Apologies if you hear some feedback. I just need to make sure we're still live here. Yeah, looks like we're all good. Hoop. No, Butler trying to make the move on Northern Canuck. They're going side by side through turn 2. Certainly difficult to do while staying clean, so kudos to them. Butler having tremendous pace at the moment, using all of their resources. Let's see if they can keep up this pace. Craig, you did start last. AI took my start and dropped me down to 7th, says Camo Banana. That's really unfortunate. Now you are 15th, I see. Maybe you got some damage from that. Apologies that we missed that. There was a lot going on. Nico John and Noob battling hard again, and that is losing them some time to the top 4. So these guys may want to think about just working together for a little bit here in order not to lose touch. The majority of the grid based on mediums, by the way. We have 4 drivers on softs right now, which is Northern Canuck and Butler in 2nd and 3rd. We have Cersei Sucks in 7th and Craig in 10th. And Dutch and Camo Banana in 14th and 15th opting to go on the hards, possibly finish the race that way. They call me Dr. J, just had a bit of an issue there in the penultimate turn, and Hoop lining up on a move on their teammate, on the mediums, on the harder compound tire. Can they make it around cleanly? It doesn't look like these guys are working together today. No team orders at Red Bull. Nice pass. Northern Canucks still sticking to Lucozade in terms of the DRS window, so good job on that. And Nico John may be able to now separate from New Place, who is now over a second behind. If we go no penalties yet, no, we have a 3-second penalty for Dutch, maybe a corner cut. Disgruntled Muppet still making up positions. now up 6 all the way up to 8th. Very good job by him. And he's closing down on Cersei Sucks and Noob. So really, really decent drive in the first 3 laps here from Disgruntled. Certainly making up on his issues in the sprint race. See if they can go for a move on this long straight now. These 3 guys certainly very close to each other. As we have Cersei with tremendous overspeed on Noob. Wow. DRS and ERS, I presume, and possibly a bit less rear wing there. It's quite difficult to really nail the setup for Bahrain. There's a lot of options. High wings, a bit lower wings. Ooh, new plays going for just try to stick the nose up the inside there. Didn't quite help him out, and it's going to put him into the clutches of Disgruntled. Cersei Sucks running extremely wide, and Disgruntled also having a moment here on the exit. That may lose him the DRS, but Cersei Sucks being very fair, letting Noob by, being on the inside, not wanting to go side by side through turns 9 and 10, which is smart. Very good move in my book. I mean, he's still right behind him, so that was a safety move. I appreciate that. Oh, Nico John actually started in 4th, so apologies for that. I thought they had made up a lot of positions here, but that was wrong. So yeah, Craig with that spin in turn 1, or with whatever contact happened there, lost 5 positions, but it actually could be a lot worse. We have a caution, Butler retiring. Oh no, there must have been contact with Nico John and Butler. We have a full course safety car, and that is race ending for Butler. Wow. And does Nico John still have his wing? He's not pitting. Wow. Well, I wonder what happened there. Butler was just in 4th, Nico in 5th. I'm very sorry that I missed that. It looked like really bit of an odd spot. Oh, and no. They call me Dr. J getting disqualified for blocking the pit lane. You know what? Most likely he did not. This is just another game issue, which is just so frustrating. Maybe he just slowed down a lot for the pit lane entry just to make sure not to get a penalty. Or, I mean, they didn't have a wing, so, you know, just doing the right thing and the game. Yeah. Wow. Be curious to see a replay of what happened there. Curious to see what tires people are going to go on. So far we have La Rodri and Tefur opting for the new hard tires. Dutch opted for new mediums, which I think is a smart move. They should definitely make it. Last couple of laps might be a little bit difficult compared to the hard runners, but certainly we'll have the pace on the hard runners like right after the start. Now Northern Canuck, expecting him to come in, and Lucas 8 as well. Yeah, it looks like everyone. Hoops also going in. Yeah, we have every single driver coming in, apart from Disgruntled Muppet. Disgruntled's opting to take the lead. That's very nice to see. I haven't seen Disgruntled lead a race around here yet, so I'll be curious to see their restart. William Butler saying chronic understeer on softs. Interesting. If you want to describe to us what happened there from your point of view, it'd be interesting because we unfortunately missed it on the stream. I know that Nico John was involved there, but he seemed unscathed. Just pitted for the hards now too. Dropping down to 9th. So we have Disgruntled. Basically the only person not pitting. Camo Banana now opting to pit as well, realizing they're in last. I wonder if Disgruntled just wanted to keep fresher tires and if they're gonna pit now. But they're now after behind the safety car, so yeah, that would cost them a lot of positions. William says they got hit from behind by Nico exiting the final corner. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so it looks like possibly Nico outbraking themselves, so I presume that will be a report for the stewards to look at. The wall is quite far away there, so that must have been quite the tap for you to lose a wheel. Yeah, I'm not sure about disgruntled. Probably just feeling good on these mediums. It's probably too late to pit now. It's certainly, there's a high chance of another safety car around here, even with just 13 cars. Still have 14 laps to go, so on the other hand, those mediums aren't bad at all at this point. If they can drive away from the hard runners, fresh set of softs later. Certainly wasn't as a clean sweep in the Tier 1 race. However, the safety car there came out on lap 1, so not exactly comparable. Wasn't the heaviest impact over you? Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's just about the angle, I guess. We can't forget these cars are made of carbon fiber, so they're not exactly. Oh, oh, that must have been a connection issue. Looked like Craig just went almost into the wall there. And Craig reporting that on lap 1, turn 1, he got hit from behind pretty hard. That's why he was span out. Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like as your car was sideways going into turn 1. Not usually a line people take. You're pretty lucky to avoid the top 3 there. Could have been a pretty good bowling incident. Um, yeah, that's too bad. But being in 7th right now, a pretty good recovery so far, I'd say. So just to summarize, they call me Dr. J is out because of what is most likely an unfair disqualification. Butler out because of an incident involving Nico John. Unfortunate in the ultimate corner. The safety car is coming in right now, and we have Disgruntled Muppet leading on the original medium tires they were on. Luke Jose, our previous race leader, in second with Northern Canuck and Hoop right behind. Those guys placed in second to fourth, definitely with the best pace around here today. New Place still in fifth. Believe they were right behind Nico John before pitting for the hard, so very good move there. And let's stick to the onboard of Northern Canuck and Lucozade, see when Disgruntled decides to go, and he goes right now. Very good reaction by Lucozade, only 2/10 behind, so he may have the move into turn 1. Disgruntled going defensive a little bit. Can they keep it clean? Disgruntled very smart choosing the outer line here as they will turn into the inside, but Lucozade getting a tremendous exit through turn 2, shutting the door. Really, really good move there. And this is crucial for Lucozade as he keeps Northern and Hoop actually dropping back to 6th, being overtaken by Craig on the mediums and Noob on the hard. So very good job from these guys. So this was a crucial move for Lucozade. He should be able to pull away from Northern Canuck this way, having Disgruntled in between them. He's going to be really hard to overtake on those medium tires. I say that, they go off track. A little bit of commentator's curse there, but stays in second. Obviously, turn 9 10th, pretty notorious for driver mistakes because they're just so difficult to handle. So kudos to them, just keeping it clean. But we're definitely going to see a very tight battle here between these top 6 drivers. Craig pushing on, trying to get past new plays already here on the exit of the second to last turn. And it looks like they may even make that stick. Oh, just keep it clean, guys. Going down the inside. Noob technically should have the better run here with the better exit speed. Northern Canuck trying to overtake Disgruntled Muppet into turn 1. Quite missing a little bit of speed here. Might be a setup thing as DRS probably isn't online yet. And these guys stay same. Hoop almost doing a double overtake. And yes, he makes it stick. My oh my, we missed that. So that's on me. Apologies, missing a double overtake, that's not good. Cersei Sex still in 7th, Craig now in 6th, right behind Noob, and Hoop making it back up to 4th, having those hard tires warmed up now. Yeah, yet another possibly no assist driver. Certainly sounds like ABS is off. Kudos to you. Hats off. Lucas 8 now 1.1 seconds ahead is exactly what he would want. Still having a disgruntled Muppet on the mediums acting as a bit of a roadblock for Northern Canuck and Hoop here. Calm and collected, very controlled for the penultimate corner. Northern Canuck surely will try to put the move on Disgruntled on the straight, on the start-finish straight. Disgruntled opting to take the wide line, working out a little bit better for Northern, and he has quite a bit more overspeed than last lap, allowing him to go past already. Hoop a little bit further behind as we have an overtake in the back there. Camo Banana on Sparkplug. Apologies that we missed that. Tefer a little bit further behind. Missed what happened there. The two Ferraris currently in the last 2 spots. And we have Sparkplug making the move through turn 2 on Cersei Sucks, dropping down to 7 from 7th to 10th. Disgruntled Muppet and Hoop battling through the start of sector 2 here. There was definitely contact. Disgruntled getting the shorter stick here, being avoided by the Ferrari. Bit of a clumsy re-entry there, but there was no incidents based on that. However, Sparkplug now 4 seconds behind the top 7. La Rodri just trying to keep touch with the top 6 there. Nico John made it all the way back up to 6th. So good recovery from him after that incident with Will Butler. We have Noob going extremely wide, probably outbraking themselves. Yeah, Fair lets everybody through, apart from La Rodri, who may just benefit. Oh, it looks like there's a bit of wing damage on Noob's car there, end plate missing, which isn't always a reason to stop and get the wing changed. The top 3 now separated by over 1.5 seconds respectfully, so they will not get the DRS benefit, except for Craig here in 4th and Nico John in 5th, who will enjoy that. La Rodri making it back up to 6th. Yeah, very good race pace from La Rodri. Qualified in 10th, I believe, and then I'm not exactly sure where she ended up finishing in the sprint race, because that was quite chaotic. So really, really don't quite remember anymore how that all went. Hoop currently making it back into the DRS of Northern, as Northern loses some time to Lucozade, but Hoop really struggling through that middle section. I noticed that that's where they usually lose the DRS, or lose a bit of time to the front runners. But made it back. Oh, but DRS, I don't think they have the DRS. I don't see the lights on the dash there. Nico John in 5th, getting very close to Craig now. Certainly everything up for grabs still in this race. We've got 9 laps left. Curious if Kilukazake will be able to keep pulling away. Disgruntled Muppet, Sparkplug, and Dutch have in the meantime pitted. Um, there was possibly some contact here between Camo and Tefer, or maybe Camo was off track. Nico John now passing Craig into turn one. Very clean move. Oh, but then almost loses the back, and Craig just about avoids the rear of Nico John. La Rodri dropping back from this top 5 now. Not exactly sure how that happened. Um, wow, it's oh, as Nico John spins out. Was there contact with Craig again? Getting out of the way for Cersei sucks. Yeah, lots of incidents here. Lots of people just pitted. It's very, very difficult to stay on track with what's going on in this race. So the closest currently on track are Hoop and Northern, who have kept it clean, racing each other quite fairly. And they're struggling to keep up with Lucozade. And as we have, that should be Tefer with a moment through turn 8. Possibly getting stuck on the curb there. And it's really, really dreadful around here because once your tires are too hot in Bahrain, it's just, you know, every corner for the next lap is going to be a struggle. So you really got to take it easy. It's very easy to go from one spin to another. Nico John getting lucky there that the grid is so, the order is so spread apart. As Hoop goes on to the overtake for Northern, DRS move, pretty slam dunk, but let's see if Northern can stick to Hoop and possibly return the favor on the stretch to turn 4. Yeah, not quite. Not quite. Maybe just biding his time. And all this battling is helping Lucozade pulling away. Just put another second on these guys on the last lap. Disgruntled setting the fastest lap. Now Dutch on the fresh softs. No surprise there. And we have Tefer in the pits. Possibly with a wing change. La Rodri now made it back up to P5. Craig sitting pretty in 4th. Shouldn't have to pit again. So I believe he should be able to bring those mediums to the end. Yeah, the order is very spread out now. So we have Northern Canuck and Hoop pretty much on the same pace on these hard tires. It'd be interesting to see what the strategy will be here for these guys. Bahrain certainly a tricky circuit, so a mistake could come at any time. Cersei sucks now pitting. I wonder. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, unless they've gone medium, I could see pitting again. Certainly lost like at least 3 positions now. Gonna come out right next to Disgruntled, who's also on the softs. Yeah, interesting strategy. That promotes Camel Banana up to 6th. Certainly helping his race. So with 6 laps left, should be able to bring these mediums home. Has Nico John behind on the hard tires, and then the first soft runner is more than 8 seconds behind. Yeah, may have worked out in his favor, the pit strategies of his opponents here. And Noob and Dutch. Noob just passing Dutch on older medium tires. And yeah, both struggling a little bit with that section, so there may be an overtake coming here from Dutch with DRS into turn 11, which is very tricky to pull off cleanly. Noob sticks it around the outside, gets a little bit stuck on the curb, and the position should be with Dutch here now. But, oh, and Noob goes over that inside dreadful curb. It's really, really difficult to keep it on track there, and that causes a safety car. Oh, I can't believe it. I mean, yeah, he lost his wing, but he's going, and the other car wasn't even involved, so. Ay, 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 ay. So this will basically put everyone on soft tires now. Let's hope for the top three here that they still have soft tires available. And yeah, a couple of people just pitted onto the soft, so they may have actually. Oh, okay. So these are fresh softs. So Cersei sucks. I wonder if they're going to opt to stay out to gain track position since their softs are only 1 lap old. Now, of course, 1 lap on softs is a big, big difference. New plays in the pits, Tafur also in the pits, both opting to go for fresh tires. Yeah, I mean, Lucas 8, this is the toughest decision for him, of course, being so far in the lead. But he is slowing down, so I presume. Yeah, opting to pit, it was 5 or 6 seconds ahead, so definitely sacrifice some time there. Expecting everyone behind to pit, and they are. It would have been pretty difficult to survive on 10 lap all hards versus new softs, so I guess this shouldn't come as a surprise. So we're gonna have a 3 lap shootout here. Hopefully, maybe just 2 laps. Safety car's already waiting past turn 3. Very cool helmet from La Rodri actually. Gotta look at that a little bit closer up. Yeah, hard to see all of it, but cool. I like that. So we have the top 3 still leading, still in the same spots. I thought that Northern Canuck was ahead of who? Possibly got ahead in the pits. So well done. This is very similar to the Abu Dhabi race last week. 3 lap shootout for the win. So I wish, before anything happens, I wish these top 3 all the best, all the luck in the world. Obviously, La Rodri, Craig, Cersei right behind. Nothing is excluding them from going to for the win. Looks like Craig had a damaged front wing, so this safety car coming in really handy for him. So the safety car, I don't believe it will come in on this lap, as we have Tafur still quite far behind and Noob as well. So we should see a lap 17-18 restart, which would give us 3 laps of racing. Looking forward to a clean race after that. Craig has just left the session. I am going to try to get them back in. Oh no! And the AI, well, you can't call it an AI, opts to pit Craig. Why? Onto a set of mediums. What are you doing? Why is this game ruining people's on 11 lap old mediums? This is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. I am starting to agree with Moist Fish here. Jesus. Oh my god. Craig will not be happy. I'm so sorry to see that, man. Like, that is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unacceptable. Trash. Absolute trash. Well, Craig, unfortunately, to no fault of his own, out of the picture here for the rest of this race. 11 lap old mediums, not gonna do too well with these last 3 laps. That is just unbelievable. What a waste of time. Oh, we're getting ready for the restart. I don't believe the safety car will wait another lap. Shouldn't, at least. Yes, to first, still a little bit behind. Craig, I saw you just left the session again. In order to avoid any sort of glitches for the rest of the lobby, please consider staying away. Unfortunately, the game has already sealed your fate, so not much more you can do there, bud. Lucas 8 dropping back right away. Smart move. Trying to see if he can get a jump on Hoop. I thought for a second that they're going, but opted to back out again as it wasn't the best of restarts. I believe it's fair to do these soft restarts to get a bit of feels out. And he just went, and I missed it. So we have Hoop with a great reaction time. Northern a little bit surprised by this, which creates a bit of a gap between third, fourth, fifth. Cersei Sucks getting a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. I've never seen this combination before, so that's very interesting. Yeah, sorry Craig, yeah, it's just unbelievable what the game does to some of these. Yeah, none of it is your fault. My oh my. Camo Banana and Dutch very close to each other. Camo trying to get ahead here through turn 8. And Hoop also extremely close to Lucozade. I presume... I wonder if their strategy is going to be to wait for the last lap or to conserve ERS or to go for it ahead of time. As Camo Banana does make the move on Dutch. They're gonna go through turn 11 together. Are they going to keep it clean? And Nico John right behind them and disgruntled. This is a whole wow. There's going to be contact here, but it is clean somewhat. Nico John really pushing for that overtake. I can see the top two are going to be battling on the straight as well, but this is really intense here with all these cars going through the ultimate corner. Hoop setting the fastest lap of the race in second. Wow, look at these cars all coming down the straight together. Hoop not going for the overtake. Oh, just keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. Oh, and the Haas taps the Alpine. Camo Banana spinning around Tefur or Cersei Sucks hitting that. Unavoidable, in my opinion. And Nico John is promoted to 5th through that. Must have been the Haas of disgruntled Muppet, who unfortunately gave Camo Banana a bit of a tap, which put him all the way back to 12. Very intense racing here right now. We have the top 3 unchanged order with Lucozade in first, Hoop in second. Very strategic race from these 3 here right now. There's definitely going to be a showdown on the last lap between the top 4. Nico John in 5th, 5 seconds behind the top 4. Through all this battling, of course, they've lost a bunch of time. But Nico John is was able to pull away from Noob, who is in 6th currently. Dutch in 7th. Disgruntled Muppet is retired. Yep, must have spun out after turn 11. There's not going to be a safety car for that, as we're on lap 19. And let's go to the top 3. Let's see what they can do. So we're on lap 20. Everyone's doing really well with their resource management here, without trying to give away too much. Lucas 8 getting a much better exit through turn 1 and 2 than Hoop, so that puts him a bit on the back foot. We'll have to catch up through sector 2 to possibly get a chance. Remember, the last lap was decided on. The last race was decided on the last lap as well. So we're definitely not seeing the final order here yet. We also have the McLaren of Sparkplug extremely close to Dutch, so we'll be monitoring that on the timing sheet here. But we're gonna stay with the top 4, as this is extremely tight and anyone could still win this. Lucas 8 really, really good on the throttle input, just absolutely no hesitation. Less than 3 seconds separating the top 3. Amazing finish for this race, and Sparkplug did make the move on Dutch into turn 11, got past, but Dutch is just right behind them. We're going to stick around with the top 2 for the last corner here, as Hoop is extremely close but gets a good wiggle on, and that will seal it. Lucozade winning the Bahrain GP. Congratulations to the top 3 there. La Rodri in 4th. And will Dutch be able to get a move on Sparkplug? No, not quite. So we have... yeah, although those are just AI cars, so it doesn't matter. Lucozade finishing in 1st. Congratulations. Hoop in 2nd. Northern Canuck in 3rd. So we have our usual suspects with the greatest pace here. Even in race 5, we continue with that streak. Very, very good battle, which makes me excited for the rest of the season. Camo Banana being awarded driver of the day. Very unfortunate that he got punted there in the last 2 laps, so that will cost him a lot of positions. And also, again, shout out to Craig, who was able to make it up after the turn 1, lap 1 incident, and then unfortunately just getting absolutely shafted by the game. Shame on you, Codemasters. So, my driver of the day possibly going to Craig here for just not getting any respect. Lucozade winning this weekend with 33 points, getting the win in the sprint and the race. Congratulations. Hoop in 2nd, Northern Canuck in 3rd, Nico John in 4th. Oh, that's let me look at the results of the race actually, because that's just confusing. La Rodri also getting the fastest lap in the race. The fastest lap in the sprint was outside of the top 10. Nico John in 5th, New Place in 6th. Very good result from them. From 10th, La Rodri from 12th, by the way. So continuing that streak of really good Sundays. Sparkplug in 7th, Dutch in 8th, Camo Banana in 9th, and Tefur with a great result in 10th in the end. So that's our top 10. We have Cersei Sucks in 11th, Craig in 12th. Again, very sorry to see what happened to you there, but after what happened there with the game, I don't think those mediums would have helped you to get any better than 12th. Disgruntled Muppet in 13th ended up being 2 laps down. I missed that, and Butler and They Call Me Dr. J are only retirements. So very, very good job. I may have missed the race director. Shoot. Sorry about that, admins and stewards. That's on me. Thank you everyone for joining for a issue riddled session. Unfortunately, lobby restart, uncountable red flags, and some connection issues there, and some drivers unfortunately getting the short end of the stick as usual. But that's just collateral at this point that we all have to work with, unfortunately. Thank you for joining. This is Performance Racing League every Sunday. Please give us a shout where you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, and yeah, if you want to race with us, we just want clean racing. Currently 2 divisions, down from 3 last season. Full grids almost every Sunday, and a very family-style atmosphere. Please come back next Sunday. I will just quickly check for you what the next race is. By the way, we also have a midweek division for the North American drivers, which happens at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. No, sorry, 5:30 and 8:30. Next Sunday's race will be Japan, which was one of our champions picks And the midweek race is around Australia, with a sprint race and a reverse feature grid. So that would be very exciting to watch. Yours truly will be hopefully part of that. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.